Wald is president of energy consultancy firm Transversal Consulting.
I think what we're seeing here is that actually the oil market is viewing this very cautiously, which I think is the correct reading of this situation. A lot of times when you see some kind of big geopolitical upheaval, the markets have this knee-jerk up or down reaction that doesn't really reflect what's actually happening on the ground with oil. And in this case, I think they are treading carefully, and I do think that oil markets are waiting to see whether there is political change, whether there is movement, and whether there really is interest in having international outside oil companies come in and work on Venezuela's oil industry.
So let's talk about those outside companies, because many people want to know why Trump wants Venezuelan oil and what it's going to mean for U.S. oil refiners in particular.
Exactly. I mean, right now is a time when we're really awash in oil. We've got plenty of oil. Supply is strong. In fact, there's talk that maybe supply actually needs to come down a little bit, and that we might be seeing that in 2026. And then suddenly you're talking about introducing a whole new source of oil. And so I think that Trump is not really looking at the nuances of this situation. If you look at Venezuela's history, if you look at the history of their oil industry, it's really been quite fraught. There have been international companies in Venezuela. They've had their assets nationalized more than once, actually, and some in very recent history. And so that's going to make the big ones, the majors, the Chevron, Exxon, ConocoPhillips, et cetera, quite wary of just jumping right back in. But then you'll have kind of the more entrepreneurial companies, perhaps smaller ones that are more willing to accept larger risks, and they may be very interested in trying to kind of capture what they can out of this situation and dive back in. They may not necessarily be the best ones for the job, but they're the ones who are willing to risk that kind of capital, because Venezuela's oil, particularly the oil in the Orinoco Belt, is very difficult to extract. Yes, there is a lot of oil there, but it's not like the kind of oil you can just drill a well and it's going to come out and you can bring it to market. It's very sludgy. It needs a lot of processing. You need to bring in diluents to get it just to flow through the pipes to get to the ports to be exported, and so it's going to take a lot of investment, a lot of capital, a lot of very particular expertise to repair systems that have been decaying for quite some time and not in good repair, in order to really get it to be, say, producing, in the 5 million or 6 million barrel level that they could be producing if people really do want to make this kind of investment. But we're talking many, many months, potentially even years away.